legends, and then there are legends. Cars that parted the automotive seas when they arrived and left the world reeling in their wake when they were finally gone. The 1958 Ferrari Testa Rossa did just that, and it still creates a feeling of reverence on sight. Hi, I'm Joe Kelly Jr., and this is the Car Room Magazine's Playing with Cars. CMC models have a devoted following in the upper echelons of collecting, and replicas like their 1/18th scale 1958 Ferrari Testa Rossa are the reason why. Hey, everyone loves a beautiful redhead. Come on, let's check it out. Testa Rossa is Italian for redhead, and the name was first given to the 500 TR, a four-cylinder racer with a modified 1984cc F2 power plant, making around 180 horsepower, wearing special red-painted cam covers. When 1958 brought a new FIA-mandated 3-liter displacement limit for the big dogs in sports racing, Ferrari didn't miss a beat. They installed their single overhead cam 2953cc V12 with red-painted valve covers, of course, into a Sergio Scaglietti designed body that looked unlike anything else on the track. In 1958, the car helped Ferrari earn its third Constructors' Championship in a row, winning at Le Mans, the 12 Hours of Sebring, and at the Targa Florio. There should be a constructor's title for model makers, and if you'd like to start one, I heartily suggest that this latest effort from CMC get nominated for top chair. Once again, the Chinese-German company has brought out a model that's immediately riveting and possessed of a quality that causes model car folks and most others to just stop and stare. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the real TR's shape, done so well here. But the steel and aluminum spoke wheels, the pressed and riveted windshield base, and the leather buckles on the hood pull you in for a closer look before you're even aware that you're ogling. As usual, CMC's put stamped metal, thin section die cast, and plastic together seamlessly, and they painted the model with a smooth, polished finish. There isn't a single flaw either on or below the surface, and the shut lines for the hinged doors and trunk are tight and even, and it and the drop-in hood are secured by working spring clips. The clear fairings for the headlights are secured with tiny hardware, and the grille and hood scoop are fitted with real metal screens. CMC loves to build in a lot of activity, and the TR is a veritable playground for finger jockeying. Some of the working features are sweet, like the removable road wheels, which get loosened or secured by two-bladed knockoffs, and the opening doors and trunk, which swing on realistic hinges. Below this lid, the trunk hosts a stainless steel fuel tank with a lift-up cap and a strapped-in spare. Swing the doors open, not so much for a look at the cockpit, but for the amazing frame and plumbing details on either side of the leather-wrapped seats. Under the dash, an incredible electrical panel is a nexus for multicolored wires that run to the dash, stopping, I'd imagine, at the rear of the gauge cluster. This is sweet stuff. I've got to admit, getting to the engine is a bit of a chore. The leather straps and buckles, though a little oversized, are a bear to open, and I'd recommend that you do the deed one time. Then let the spring clips keep things in place when you're moving the model around. Once the hood is gone, however, you'll get a view of the engine that is completely unimpeded. Better bring snacks, you're going to be here for a while. Cabling and wire in several gauges, some of it wrapped in delicate steel jackets with fittings at each end, runs from points unseen out to the carbs, the coils, the distributors, and along the frame, then right out of view again. The castings are painted in just right metallics and blacks, and that historic red crinkle for the cam covers. 12 trumpets top the linked-in Weavers, and CMC's even put the red gaskets on each carb where the fuel line is secured with a banjo fitting. How cool is that? Side-slung exhaust is a great come hither for the chassis. Metallized pipes wind along the rails, and they're clamped with steel bands and terminate proper trumpets out back. Turn the car over for a real thrill. Copper brake and fuel lines are fastened to the chassis with more clamps, and these break out into flex hoses that terminate in fittings at each wheel cylinder. The bottom part of that enormous fuel tank is here and piped in, and every part of the working suspension is jointed and workable. They've even put a return spring, a unit sized to fit into a wristwatch, on the brake master cylinder. I'm impressed. It's easy to get excited when a new image of an historic model car comes along, especially when it's a plum car like the Testa Rossa, and especially when it's done this well. And yeah, sure, there's a couple of things wrong with the model. The proportions around the rear fender well might be off just a little bit. These wheels should be painted and not just bare metal. The windshield is a little thick, and CMC loves to use outsized hardware. But guess what? I was so busy having a ball playing with this thing, none of that stuff mattered. This is an amazing piece, and I have to tell you what, I hope they make a lot more, including the livery versions that were so famous. Now, this unmarked version is on the market currently for around $320, and it gets my very highest recommendation. Well, that's it for this episode of Playing with Cars. For the Car Room Magazine, my name is Joe Kelly Jr. Thanks for stopping down, and thank you for playing with cars. We'll see you around. Take care.
Okay, Dad.